Hey, it's Friday. Let's do some form checks. Hey guys, welcome back to Form Check Friday. I'm Paul. Clint's sleeping. We got a quick one today. I think we got 3 submissions, all returning people. Before that, 2 quick recap announcements. We launched a private community. Anybody can join, but it's on our own platform. And that opened up last week. It's been going great. It's nice. It's manageable. You're not like overwhelmed with all this Reddit stuff. So if you want to, I'm going to keep the Reddit open and active, but if you want to come over, you can go to HORNSTRENGTH.com and then click on this little community tab right here. And it will take you to Circle, it's like our own Facebook group. So you can see you've got like a home feed, so people are just posting stuff. And then we have all these little areas for discussions, general discussion, and then programming, nutrition, and then people are keeping training logs here. So it's going well. I kind of dig it. And it's got a very nice iOS app or Android app. So if you guys want to come participate from now on, I'm going to be doing Form Check Friday on this community platform. I'll post about it on Reddit, but all the submissions are going to be through Circle or whatever we want to call it, the HornStrength platform. So come on over. It's free to make an account and join the conversation. We are also doing our fat loss challenge in here. So our summer fat loss challenge, and we did our first week. So if you want to join, it's still time. You can go in, click on the post, and you just leave a comment with your goal for the, I think, 11 weeks or something like that. It's going to be the end of July. The last Monday in July is the final check-in. So if you guys want to participate in that, it's open, we're ready, and that's my update. So let's get into your form checks for this week, and let's see what we have. All right, economic squeezy. The other thing about our private platform is you can pick a screen name that's your own name instead of having Reddit assign you this weird one. So here it is. Hey, Paul, to summarize last week, I need to get tight. You were spot on. I definitely had been trying to stay more relaxed on the way down to conserve energy. So here's a set of me trying to get as tight as possible before each rep. My 5th rep was horrible. I lost focus out of the hole. My back rounded, the bar rolled up a little, so I had to raise my chest to compensate. I hope the rest looks better than last week. Okay, let's see what we got. All right. So we'll watch a couple. Oh man, I thought that was in slow motion. All right, let's see. Well, you're definitely controlling it better on the way down. You're still taking too long to lean over. Like, you don't hit you haven't set your back angle until you start coming back up. If we watch, you're leaning, and then you lean even more on the way up. That needs to be set by the halfway point of the way down. So by here, you need to be done leaning over. Okay, so better job controlling the weight. But really, you have to just dive for the floor, shove your knees out real hard and point your nipples at the floor and be finished. Commit to being completely done leaning over by the time you're halfway down. Because if you don't set that, you're way too vertical still, right? I mean, this is basically the halfway point. And look at your back angle. When you come up, it's going to be like this, which is the right back angle. So you have to get Let's pause it on the way back up, right? Okay, so now you've set your back angle. You're here. It was like this on the way down. This is the whole problem. If you don't set that by the halfway point, then as you're driving back up, you're still leaning over, okay? Because you haven't finished leaning over. So I know I sound like a broken record here, but like, this is your problem. Aside from before where you weren't tight, but you've sort of fixed that. Yeah, all of this is going to go away if you can commit to, I mean, it's going to feel wrong. It's going to feel like, okay, like you're exaggerating this leaning over thing, but you have to make it feel that way because what you're doing is not correct. So it's going to feel wrong. On top of that, I know last time we talked about this, how it was like this smooth all the way down, all the way up. And I wanted you to fight the weight more, get tighter, resist it. But if we look at your pace on the way down and the way up, it's still the same. So you're going slower, but look at the cadence here. There's really like no, I mean, you slowed down there a little bit because you got tired. Let's watch when you're fresh. And then you come back up. I mean, it's basically the same speed, right? So we want slow and controlled on the way down, fast and explosive on the way up, not the same speed the whole time. So let me see if I think last time I showed you an example of my favorite example, which is Josh, but like, let's look at the difference aside from, like, look at the difference in speed on the way down and the way up, right? So he's tight. He's going to fight the weight on the way down. He's going to control it slow and then watch, boom. And then it's faster on the way up. So he's fighting to maintain this perfect position on the way down and controlling the weight. And then he goes, then he hits the gas. Now, obviously he's got, was that 415 on his back? So it's not going to be that fast on the way up. But if you look at the first rep, when he's fresh, he's got noticeably more pop coming out of the bottom. So it's all about tightness, control, and stability on the way down. So you end up balanced and then you go. Then you hit the gas. You don't look like you have gas. You look like you are controlling it, and it just doesn't look like you're trying very hard to explode up. Like the old cue is like, make the plates rattle at the top. Like you should be trying to drive up so fast and aggressive that when you get to the top, you hear the plates rattle. Now you got bumper plates on, but you get my point. Okay. And let's look at James here. This was another one of my clients who it's not a lot of weight, but he just had a really nice squat. So let's watch, same thing here. We'll watch his descent. Pop. You see that pop in his hips? Like he went a little too fast on that one. But you can see there's like an oomph when he pops. You can see his ass like speeds up, right? That's you want that. You need that pop of the hips to carry you through the sticking point in the middle of the way up, right? So the idea is you shove your knees out, you lean over, you stretch out all those groin muscles, right? You get tight, and then you rebound, right? Off rubber bands, off a trampoline. And that's not going to be the same speed. You're going to dip into that stretch and then you're going to pop out, which means there's acceleration on your hips. So if it looks exactly the same speed, then you're just doing the motion down, up. Like, I want you to think about, we put a rubber band down there and you're popping off of it. It's too smooth. You've got the basics down. Now you got to put some pop into it. Okay. So we're getting there. Lean over more right away. The back angle and the knee position, meaning knees forward and out, as wide as they're ever going to be, and the back as leaned over as you're ever going to be by the halfway point of the way down. So basically right away. And so you can't go slow like this all the way down. It's got to be, you're here and you bam. And then it's just up and down. It's like set it and then ride it down like that. Not this. Whoop. Ooh. Okay. That and then down. And then on the way up, pop. You hit the stretch and you use it. Okay. You bounce off of the stretched out. The point of leaning over and shoving your knees out is to get the stretch reflex. So you got to use the stretch reflex. It's a bounce. It's boing, boing. Okay. Like a trampoline. So those are the things that we need to fix now. So you got to clear your head a little bit. Okay. Just on the way down, think about leaning over right away. Bam. On the way up, you think about exploding. That's it. Everything else will take care of itself, but you're probably thinking about a million different things while you're doing this. So that's your homework, okay? Let's do it. Let's do it again. And we're going to get this dialed in here, okay? All right. Thanks for the post, and let's move on. Happy life. Back with another set of deadlifts. I've been trying to work on all the issues you flagged. The most recent 2 issues were setting my back better and rocking back a little. I dropped the weight. Here's a work set of 315. Thanks for all your great advice. Okay, let's see. We got volume on here. Let's turn that down. All right, so we're talking about setting. Oh, good. Good. Okay. Remember to pull that slack out of the bar when you set. So you set and pull up. I mean, it looks pretty close. Just had a little bit of jerk on the previous one. As you squeeze up, there you go. It's smoother that way. Good. Okay. Set, arch, harder. Yeah. Nice, man. Good rep. I like it. Excellent. Excellent work. Okay, let's watch again. And I think there's one thing I want to talk to you about. Let me just watch this first one again. Your back is you're getting it way flatter in the right area than last time. Good. Good. Okay, now let me nitpick here. So that you're setting twice. All right. So it's breathe, squeeze, pause, pull. It's not half squeeze, breathe, real squeeze, pause, pull. So if you look when you put it down, your back's round like that. And then you're setting it right there. You're arching. And then you arch again. I think it was better in the first one. The little extra thing the little extra arching. So we're round. Now you've kind of set. Now you're setting. Now you're going to set again. See that? That was like 3 sets. If we go from round to sort of set again, getting ready, set even more. Now we're almost fully set. And now you're going to actually set. Now you're going to breathe and set and go. Okay. You're ending up in the right position. But all of that effort of setting your back costs you energy. It burns gas. And you're going to want that gas later for the last rep. So you set once, okay? Breathe. All the fidgeting, all the rolling the bar, all the messing with your grip, fixing your head position, fixing the weight on your foot, your back does not need to be set for that. There's no reason for you. Setting your back is the hardest part aside from picking up the weight. It costs you a lot of energy to get that level of extension and tension throughout your whole body. So it should be the very last thing you do before pausing and pulling. Otherwise, you have to hold that and waste energy that you will need later, okay? So here's what it should look like, okay? I gotta start paying Josh because I use him all the time. Watch from his start position, right? He's not set at all. And assuming this is the video, I think he's gonna take one breath. He's gonna set his back one time, hold it, and pick the bar up. Set, and the bar comes off the ground. Okay? He's gonna roll it back. Notice his back is round. He's set and go. Okay? So he puts it down, messes around with it, gets it where he wants it, and then without wasting any energy trying to hold his back flat. And then he sets once, and then the bar lifts off the ground. So what we want, and I've said this before in the deadlift, is ever increasing tension. Okay, we go from zero tension when you put the bar down and your back's round, right? And then the process of getting to the next pull is little bits of ever increasing tension. You never relax that tension. It's like you're loose and then you get tighter and tighter and tighter until the plates leave the ground. Okay? So if you set and relax and then mess around and then set and relax and then finally I'm going to really set now, you're just kind of wasting energy. Let's see if I've got my favorite deadlifter guy who appeared one time in our Form Check Friday and then disappeared and probably has no idea that I use his video constantly. But he just has this great setup pattern, right? So round back, shins to the bar, round back. He's going to breathe, set, and go. Okay, so when you see those wrinkles in his shirt, you see him one time, and they never relax. You don't see like some of them, and then you see the rest of them. It's no wrinkles, bar comes off the ground. Breathe, squeeze, pause, pull. That's it. Okay? And that way you have energy left over. You're minimizing the amount of time you're trying to hold your back in extension because that is tiring. That is tiring for the spinal erectors, okay? So, great work. These are like 99% perfect. You just need to fix the pattern, and I guarantee you the last rep will feel easier when you do that because you'll have conserved your energy. So, awesome work, man. Thanks for the post, and we'll see next week if you fix it or whenever you feel like you fix it. All right. I think this is our last one. It's going to be a short video. Okay. Dick made it in just in time. Dick likes to post like Friday morning before I lock the thread. Looks like I just made it. My homework was to raise my elbows a bit whilst keeping my upper back extended, but not overextended. Yes, I also include a bit more of my setup in case that's useful to comment on. You were right last week. I was deliberately trying to keep my elbows down as I had previously suffered a bit with elbow tendonitis. This is my second light set at 165 kilos for 5 reps. The socks are back. They give me power. Tear it apart. All right, Dick. Love it. All right, let's see what we got here. So yeah, you had your elbows way down. And, oh, there are the socks. Okay. All right, let's watch. Let's see here. We talked about tendonitis before, And I told you that the solution to not have to worry about tendonitis is the thumbs around grip. And I think if I remember correctly, and I said you got to do it 3 workouts before you're going to hate it, but you do it 3 workouts and it'll start to feel better. And I think you did 1 workout and told me you hated it and gave up on it. So whatever, if you're happy with the thumbs on top grip and you don't have tendonitis, it's fine. If it comes back, it's like, what do you want to do? You got to pick, right? Do you want chronic tendonitis, or do you want to deal with the discomfort of the thumbs around grip until you get used to it? You have a choice. You're going to hurt either way, I guess is my point. You're going to suffer either way. Okay, let's see here. All right. Elbows up. A little. Okay. Yeah, good. You're not dumping it off your back or, like arching. Yeah, you're just holding. This is better. Good one. Good one, man. See, okay. They're still, I want you to jack them up a little bit, because that's just lift them. Yeah. Okay. Much better. Like, you got rid of the problem. Now we're just fine tuning. So I'm not tearing this apart. I just want you to add one little thing here, and I think we'll nail it. So just seeing if you're doing what I told you last time, which is get under the bar. When you get under it and set, get both feet under the bar before you set up. Okay? So you're kind of trying to get the bar in the right position and locked in, but your foot isn't, you're not in your squat stance. So I want you to do this, but I want you to do it in exactly the same stance that you're going to use when you squat. Okay, I don't want to install an update. So minor detail, but yeah, okay. There we go. All right. So you're kind of doing it. Yeah. Good. No. Okay. So we're missing a part here. Remember what I told you last time? Remember what I told you last time. Okay. You get under, and it's chest up, elbows up. Elbows as high as they'll go with the chest up. So I'm watching your elbows, and I'm looking for this little lift here to just lock it. And maybe they're not moving much, but okay, look at the elbow position. Okay, now I want to see the next rep, because that's pretty good. But I want to see now, look at your elbows are, this one in particular is like it's drifting back to your old position. Once, like almost perpendicular to the floor. So, and you can see how the elbow kind of moves when you start. You kind of dump it a little bit. That's that rolling thing that is going to make you get out of your hips too soon. So here's what I want. I'm just blabbering, but I'm going to put this all together for you. All right. let's look at the difference between where your elbow is here. Okay. I'm looking at this one in particular. And let's see this elbow, what it looks like when before you start your first rep. Oh. Yeah, it's subtle, but it's, where's my cursor? There it is. Okay. We're here, right? And if we go to your last rep, now you can see we're here. Okay, so before it was back here. All right, so this is my point. This is what I thought was happening. Between, after you unrack, before you start every rep, okay, you need to reset that chest up, elbows up position that you had in the beginning. Okay, so I want a little bit more, when you're in the rack getting set up, you get your feet under the bar, it's resting in the hooks, you get underneath it, get tight. The last thing you're gonna do before you stand up with it, remember, is chest up and then elbows up as high as they'll go without rounding. So you keep, this is the limiting factor for the elbows, right? We talked about this last time. If I jack my elbows up and let my chest cave, I can do this. But if I insist that I keep this extension and then just lift my elbows as much as they'll go, it's like that. Okay, but I'm not really seeing that from you. So I want to see the elbows lift up, right? Like you're shrugging into the bar with the chest up. So that's number one. Before, just right from the start, before you even take it out of the rack, I want to see those elbows just up, okay? A little. Like I want to see like an inch of movement or whatever you got, keeping this chest arched up. Okay. You're going to do your best to hold that chest up, elbows up position, but you're going to lose it. It's going to soften up, just like, you know, you're going to lose your extension in a deadlift. So between each rep, you need to recreate that. So you come up from the bottom of the squat, you lock out, and before you think about doing the next rep, you're here, your elbows are kind of here, and you're kind of like, you're here. So you're just going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to take my breath, chest up, right, elbows up. Now, not back here like this, but just arch and then elbows up a little bit, a tiny bit. Just get them back to that position you had in the beginning. Okay? And so we go here, we're going to arch and we're going to lift. We're going to go from here to here. So these elbows just come up a little bit. And this is nice and arched up here. That's a bad line, like that. Okay? Hold that, and then you just lean over at the waist. This, once you're there, this segment just goes from here to here. Okay? It just leans over. But the elbows and the chest stay tight and locked. All right. Let me watch again. Because see, you do it, you take that breath and then you lose it. And then it rounds immediately. Okay. So and I think we talked about this last time, you're arching and then letting it go. I'm gonna try and pause the arch. There's the arch. Okay. Now I want the elbows a little bit higher, just a little. The tendonitis comes from flexing and extending the wrist. So you roll it back on the way down and then you dump it forward on the way up usually. That's what causes the tendonitis. If the upper body doesn't move and the wrist stays perfectly straight and locked and tight and you just hinge over, you're here and you just hinge like this and there's none of this happening, the bar's not rolling, that you're much less likely to get tendonitis. The elbow position doesn't cause tendonitis. It's the elbow position causing the bar to move around on your back, which is what's happening here. So you're getting arched and then you're going to let it go. You've already let it go, right? You were here, you took that breath, right? And then as soon as you started, you just relaxed it. You can see your upper back's round. So this is all that's left to fix for you is set and hold, just like the deadlift. Set your back and hold it. Don't set your back and let it go. Okay, so we'll go back to the beginning. I'll walk you through it and then we'll be done. So we're gonna get both your feet under. Like that to me is what, like that looks good. That's a real tight upper back. The elbows are up. So I know you can get in this position, but that's what I want it to look like before every rep. Yeah, and notice your elbows up a little bit. Okay, now you're starting to soften because you got that weight on your back. So we're gonna reset it. You're gonna puff your chest up and just get its chest up, elbow up, right? And then hold that. See, you can see your elbow moving down, right? You're losing it. You're losing. That's all there is to this, man. It's all upper back position for you. Okay? It's this, this, and this. Okay? So I come back up from the rep. I take a breath. I'm soft. I'm round. Okay, I'm going to set my back. And I lock it in. So up. And then that's it. I hold this. This never changes. This never relaxes. I never do this. I never let this go. The entire time I'm squatting, I'm fighting this for this and this. That tightness should feel exactly the same at the top of the rep as it does at the bottom of the rep. It should look the same, but it should feel. That's what the pause squats are for, right? You get to the bottom and you check that you didn't let any of that go. And I know we've done these before, but this looks different. Like where's the bottom of your rep? We'll just pause it at the bottom. Okay? That doesn't look as tight as that. I mean, that looks good. That's soft. You can see it. Okay? If you make that happen, if your back looks like this when you're down here, what am I doing? Right? If it looked like that, you'd be good. You'd have it. And then you don't have to, nothing, like the bar's not going to roll. You can keep all your focus on just driving, right? On balance, on knees, and on the lower half, doing the work. If you can lock in, just like you can lock in on a bench press, and all you have to do is worry about moving your elbows up and down. If you can lock in the whole upper half of the squat, then you can focus on what the bottom half needs to do, which is move the damn weight. Okay? So that's it. And if I were there and I used to do this all the time in the gym, would be in between reps, just walk over to someone and put my hands on their chest and on their back and, and then arch them and say, hold that. And then have them go down to the bottom. When they come back up to the top, I'd put them back in that position. If we were doing pause squats or warm-ups with an empty bar and they were paused at the bottom, I'd walk over while they're paused and put them in that position. So, and the idea is I shouldn't be able to do that. Like if I can do that and it moves, that means they lost the tension at some point. So you're on your own. You gotta, with your warm-ups, check every warm-up. The first set or two should be paused. And you should, when you get down to the bottom and are paused for 3 seconds, your main thing is, can I arch my back and can I do that even more? And if you can, that means you let it go. And once you program not letting it go, so it's identical tightness at the top and the bottom of the rep, everything else is going to fall into place because the rest of this looks great. Okay? So there's a lot of word salad there, but hopefully you can watch this a couple times and get the gist of it. And and you'll have it down, man. Like everything else is great. It's just that upper back position. So, all right. Looks good. Try it. Post it. You know, let's keep going on it. And we'll get you back to perfect squats. Okay. Hey, we did it. 30 minutes or so. Thanks, guys. We'll do this again next week on Circle. So if you're a Reddit person, you'll see a post that says go to Circle, our platform, and make an account. And then we'll do all the Form Check Friday submissions over there. And I am headed back to Los Angeles first week of June, I think. So not sure if we're going to do Form Check Friday the week after. So if you have something to get it in next week for next Friday. And then I'll keep you posted on future episodes. But always fun. Have a great weekend, guys. And we'll see you next time.